Hey, what's up, people? It's Tino Fez 1999 back to do a video. Yes, I'm here to talk about rest in peace, Al Davis, the owner of the Oakland Raiders, LA Raiders. Yep, I know. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I do respect the team. At least I always give respect to Al Davis. Like, you know, Al Davis was a good owner, for the organization, the Raiders, and he did a lot for that team. He started at the Raiders in 1963 and had Jim Otto, had Jim Plunkett, Ken Stabler. Um, they have Art Shell, all these players that have played for the Raiders, even Howie Long and guys like Bo Jackson. If you see, I'm wearing the Raiders Bo Jackson jersey. I was never a Raiders fan. I really wasn't, but I just like the look, the uniform and colors, black and silver. And I actually had this Raiders jersey for at least 3 years already. And I had the Randy Moss one, but I gave it away. So yeah, I really did like the. I'm not a big fan of the team, but I did like the color of the team. So yeah, and yeah, I was watching the thing. I was like, I checked out on NFL.com that Al Davis passed away at age 82. I'm like, wow. The owner of the Raiders, like, there was a saying, live as a Raider, die as a Raider. He actually lived as a Raider, died as a Raider, and that's respect. And you know how the Raiders trend started because of NWA and straight out of Compton. These are the bad boys of football. And for every football fan out there, that watch NFL and all that, even though y'all not Raiders fans, I'm not a Raiders fan personally, but I do respect the organization, and I really was, I really pay attention to, to the history of the Raiders. They had a great history in the 80s, 70s, 60s, when they're the AFL. They were the Oakland Raiders in the AFL days, and they were like, no, it was a good, that was a very good organization because look, they won 3 championships, Super Bowls. They actually they were getting good players in those days, in the 1980s, and they were LA Raiders. And then when LA moved to Oakland in 1995, the Raiders went downhill after that. They still had Tim Brown. Rich Gannon was another good player. He he actually took them to the Super Bowl with Jerry Rice, and they really had a good run for like the past 5 years with the Raiders. And then after the Raiders lost the Super Bowl, they went downhill. They haven't been in the playoffs. They've been losing a lot of games. Jerry Rice got traded to the Seattle Seahawks. I remember those days. And Tim Brown went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they got some no good players. And after that, 2006 was one of the worst years in the Raiders franchise. They were like 2-14, and they were waiting for the 2000. They drafted running backs, but they were making a lot of bad decisions. And then from 2007, they had one of the worst records, and they drafted a quarterback in Jamarcus Russell. They thought he was gonna be good. They thought he was gonna be the quarterback of the franchise, but guess what? He was a bust. So he had in the last 3 years that he was playing for the Raiders, he was a draft bust. So they thought that he was like the worst quarterback after Ryan Leaf. And you know, ever since the Raiders let him go, and a lot of players that they let go, and they got this guy was the name Jason Campbell. They actually improved in that point. They actually improved. They had the offensive lines. They had Ronaldo McClain. I know. The Raiders organization. I guarantee one day the Raiders gonna go back to a championship team, and I do see the Raiders have a future. Especially for Al Davis. He done a lot for that team, and he showed that he really was a Raiders. A Raiders a father, the godfather of the Oakland Raiders, the LA Raiders. And it'll be great if the Raiders go back to LA. I really want that to happen actually, because that's where they made a big impact in LA. in California. So Ice Cube, I was watching the video on ESPN that Ice Cube said that he hopes that they go back to Los Angeles, and it'll be awesome. Like I really do respect the Raiders organization. I'm not gonna say I don't like the Raiders. I'm really not a fan of them, but they're really a good team, and I really do respect Al Davis. Actually show that he didn't care. He didn't sold that team. He never gave up. He said he rather live as a Raider, die as a Raider, and that's what's up. I really gotta give respect to that guy. And most of you, probably wish that he wasn't a Raiders owner and all that. Even though he had bad times in the Raiders, still stay there to their ups and downs. And I really appreciate that, for the Raiders, because Raiders, they were a well-deserved team, winning championships, and they were like one of the most dirtiest teams in the NFL, and they were like the bad boys of football. And that brings a lot to the table, man, because if you think about it, we see the Raiders now and the Raiders back then is a major difference. You see, like you see the Raiders how it was 20 years ago, 1985 or some years when they have Howie Long, they had guys like Arshell and these guys, or what's his name, Jack Tatum. Yeah, but these guys were they were like legends. They made a legacy in the Raiders organization, man. And someday maybe this guy will get inducted to the Hall of Fame. Tim Brown was a hell of a receiver, man. Tim Brown was one of they call him Mr. Raider. He was like he was the heart and soul of the Raiders franchise. He was there when they were in LA in 1991. He was a rookie in 91 coming from Notre Dame while he stood in the Raiders till 2005, 2004 and went to Tampa Bay. And Raiders really do, they need a chance. I hope, I really hope. I'm like basically in the AFC West. I like the Broncos and the Chargers, but the Raiders, they need a chance because Kansas City ain't doing nothing. The Chargers are doing very good actually, so be careful of those Chargers. But the Raiders, they can step their game up, man. If they keep stepping their game up, because they've been playing better for the past couple of weeks, man. Because I seen the Raiders play, they're not losing by a lot like they used to. So I'm just saying this for all y'all Raiders Nation fans. I really respect y'all guys. At least even though I'm not a racist fan, but I'm showing respect to y'all Raiders fans. And I really appreciate that. If y'all agree, but it's all like I said, rest in peace, Al Davis. One of the best owners in the NFL, like had in the franchise history. Keep one of the longest owners in a football team in the NFL for the Raiders, and he actually stood for a long time. He really right there with Jerry Jones. And if you think about me, I'm the guy that collects jerseys, snapbacks. I collect stuff. And I like it's good. It feels good to see Raiders winning games. I at least look. I'm glad that they're doing good because the Raiders. I'll guarantee you something. The Raiders go to the playoffs. It's not gonna be in Oakland. It might be in LA. Because come on, think about it. Though I'm telling you, if they go to LA, they're gonna have a bigger stadium, and I'm telling you, they're gonna sell out seats. They're gonna go up the roof for them to see the Raiders games, especially those Raiders fans. Those fans are insane, but you gotta give those guys respect because those guys are really true fans in the NFL. Even though win or lose, they actually live for it. They actually watch the Raiders game. They lose, they get mad, they start a riot. The Raiders are like, they're the top, they're the top dogs and fans. Aside with the Browns, aside with the Steelers, and aside with the what do you call it, the biggest fans teams like the Browns, Raiders, um New York Jets, the New York Giants, Buffalo Bills, and the what do we call it, the Philadelphia Eagles. Those are true fans right there. and I really respect those teams, you know. But like the Raiders had the biggest fan base ever, so I gotta say, guys, take care, have a good one. Rest in peace, Al Davis, Raiders. They're gonna do it for Al Davis. All right, guys, later.